all the Rotarians, friends of Rotary, and guests who have joined us today for this unique session on modern agriculture technologies, more crop per drop. We have begun a vocational diversity speaker series on behalf of District 3190 titled Jnana Vaividya, where we are trying to curate specialty sessions by national and international speakers, which could be of great utility to all of us, whether they are Rotarians or whether they are friends of Rotary. So today we have with us as a speaker, Mr. Nissim Danili, who is the CEO and founder of Auto Agronom from Israel. And special welcome to our chief guest, our own DG of District 3190, Rotarian Nagendra Prasad sir. We have a lot of guests, Rotarians from other districts who are joining us today. And we also have Rotarians joining from Israel. So once again, a formal welcome to all of you. And we move forward. Thank you.
May we request Rotarian Dr. Ramesh Venkatesan to introduce the speaker.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And I'm extremely happy to introduce Mr. Nissim Danili. And when Raja asked me to introduce this gentleman, I'm very excited because we all know Israel is extremely advanced in all agricultural technology in most of the aspects, especially the water, right? So all over the world, we are struggling for water. The main theme of this presentation from Nissim is going to be how do we cut down the water for agriculture purpose. And apparently Mr. Nissim coming from Auto Agronom from Israel, they have been specialized in how do we reduce the water usage for agri and increase the production. I also went through some of his profiles where the motto of his company is that to improve the financial situation of farmer while still preserving environment, because in general what happens is when we want to cut down the water, we try to put more fertilizer or something like that, right? So Mr. Nissim comes with a big amount of background on cutting down this irrigation technology and the climate, right? One of the advantage of this technology is that we can control the climate wherever, however we want. So the technology what Mr. Nissim Danili coming from Auto Agronom Israel Limited, and also the two different areas I could see here. One is his background. He's been the founder and CEO of a couple of initiatives. Apart from Auto Agronom, he also Rotem 88 Limited has been supporting that, and the Roots. I probably need very keen to hear from him. Listen to Roots. I mean, I believe he's talking about the roots of any plant. And so in general, the background is like computerized agriculture. And I believe it's more to do with IoT or artificial intelligence to predict the weather kind of stuff. So apart from that, the other expertise I could see from him is the background is that computerly, it's like a industry, completely industrialized agriculture. So you have complete control, and also for a greenhouse, also for poultries and hatcheries. So he seems to be having a very good background on controlling it as per our need. So that's a huge interest of, I think, especially countries like India. And then apart from this, Mr. Danili has got a lot of academic and education initiatives. He's been associated with a lot of research initiatives. with Shlomi Teachers Training Institute, and also the Pedagogic Center of Special Education. Like this, I could see a couple of them, like 20 schools. So this is so. In technology and teaching to the world. Sir, that's a very pleasure to introduce you to this session. We welcome, and I think we are very keen to listen from you. Please go ahead. Yes, Raja.
Yeah, thank you, Ramesh. Sir, can you share your screen on your presentation?
Mr. Nisim, you can start now.
Yes, we can see your screen.
So good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. My name is Nisim Danieli. I am the CEO of Photo Agronom. We developed a new approach to irrigation called Auto Agronom. The new idea is to answer most important 5 questions in irrigation. First of all, what are the goals, the targets of irrigation? When we speak about irrigation, we're talking about 5 missions that we have to fulfill. One of them is to supply oxygen to the root. It's the most important one and first priority. Plants oxygen all the time, day and night, and they get the oxygen only from the roots and only as a dissolved oxygen in the water. They cannot breathe it from the air, even their production oxygen. They need to get it from the roots. And anybody that learn agriculture know that even 3,000 years ago, the first men plowing the land from morning to evening in camp because they want to supply oxygen to the roots. The second mission of irrigation is to supply water. The third mission is to avoid snake. Fourth mission is to supply fertigations, of course, and to minimize problem that occurred because extreme temperature, high temperature or low temperature. To do that 5 jobs, we have to answer the 5 question, very complicated one, and every farmer asks himself this question almost every day. It's when to irrigate, first of all. To irrigate in the morning, in the evening, during the day, once a week, how much to irrigate? 2 millimeters, 3 in the 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 cube per dunam or per hectare, and when to fertilize, how much to fertilize, and what form to use in the fertigation. These 5 questions, those 5 questions are extremely difficult to answer because they are depend in many parameters. Most of the parameters are dynamic and changing from minute to minute, like temperature, humidity, radiation, etc., etc. And the roots condition, the type of the plants, the variety, the soil, the quality of the water, many, many, many parameters. Actually, the modern agriculture answered those 5 questions, first of all, by generic statistic table, which of course cannot be so accurate because table statistic cannot take calculation all the things that are dynamic and changing like temperature, humidity, the sunlight, the radiation, etc., etc. And that's why we are today making a mistake why we are irrigated. First of all, we're giving too much water, and we know it's true because our experts are contaminated in a huge amount of NO3. That NO3 is coming by water and by too much fertigation that we are giving. So to answer those questions, we was thinking that the only one can answer that is the roots. The roots of the plants know every minute what the plants need. If we can talk with the roots and ask him, hey, how are you today? What do you like now, exactly now? The roots can tell us, telling us that, but we have to learn how to listen to them. How we listen to the roots? We decided to measure changing, physical changing and chemical changing in the area of the roots, like first of all, oxygen, because it's most important one, pH, NO3, temperature, and tensiometer. By looking at the trend of these values that we get, we know what the plants need, and we support it online, in demand, 24 hours a day, 7 days in a week. So when we go to the field and we put our sensor, this is what we get. Blue line is a tensiometer. It is the level of how much the land is dry, how much water there is in the rain. And the red one is the availability of oxygen, but calculated by our controller. And this is, here you see.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. David.
Hello, everyone. My name is David. I'm the manager of India, represent Auto Agronome. I will continue from this point unless Mr. Nissim will come and join with us again. In this graph, we can see some example of 1 day of irrigation on the fields. The blue line is give us to see 1 day, let's say in 7 morning, the farmers start to irrigate. And what we can see that the level of the oxygen, is come and come down because we are coming in weight condition of the soil. In the meantime, the red line is the level of the oxygen that coming during the time that the water come on the soil. What we can see, the peak in the red line is only 1 point, that around 2% from the time, the time of the irrigate. Only in this point, the plants can take oxygen. Basically, as Nissim explained, the oxygen can come to the plants only by the roots, and is absorbed, the water is absorbed from the soil to the plants through the roots. And if we continue to irrigate, what happened? The level of the oxygen come down because we come to the saturation. The plants come to be in saturation, and then the oxygen level can come up again when we stop the irrigation. In this time, let's say this is one day, we can see that we can calculate that only 2% from the cycle of irrigate, it's give oxygen to the plants. It means if we take 8 hours of irrigate, constant irrigation, then only 2% from this time, the level of the oxygen is come to the plants. In the second graph downstairs, what we can see that in the system of the autoagronome, we found that we give pulse of irrigate, not continuous, not constant irrigate. We give pulse for 2-3 seconds only, 2-3 minutes only. And in this condition, the oxygen level is constant high. It means we get oxygen by peak. Each pulse that we get same time the high level of oxygen. It means now in the method of autoagronome, we get around 80% of oxygen during the irrigation time. Then the result that we come to get from the plants, we, in one hand, we save water, around 40% of water, and we increase the oxygen around 80%. And this result in the end bring a more fruit or more flower in the plants. Please go for the second slide. One more, please. Yes. In this slide, we can see some research in the USA University. One line, they give more oxygen, and the other line downstairs, we can see that less oxygen. And the result that we can see that during the time A, B, C, D, in the place that we bring more oxygen, then the plants continue and grow nice. And in the plants that we bring less oxygen, the plants come to be, let's say, in the end of his life. Please go. Second slide.
David, can you hear me?
Yeah, Nissim, we can hear you. You want to continue from this place?
Okay, if you hear me, I can try. Okay. So in this picture, in this slide, what you see is something very.
Come close to the microphone only. Nissim, come to the microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Try more close to the microphone. Your voice is low.
Okay, then continue you, David. I don't know what's happened. I try now another. You don't hear me now?
Yeah, you low, but okay. Take from this point, please.
Okay, I would like to talk with you about the movement of water in the ground. When a drop comes to the soil, doesn't matter what kind of soil, it doesn't matter where comes the drop of water, can be sprinkler, can be dripper, can be rain. The water moving in the ground by two forces. One of them is gravity, which is a strong power that takes the water and lead them down to the center of the earth. The other one is capillarity. Capillarity is special things that happen to the water while there is a small tunnels. And then the water can move in these small tunnels even against the power of capillarity. So normally when we are irrigated, 85% of the water moving down by gravity to the center of the earth. And normally we will lose most of this water because they run quickly, and this is the runoff of the, and go to the aquifer or go out in soilless. That's what you see in zone A. You see water coming quickly and go directly to the center of the earth. The second B, there is a movement of capillarity, that the water starting to move to the side beside the dripper, and zone C is the zone of salinity. Because of the movement of the water and the capillarity movement push the salinity and make it as the stone around us, a ring that surround the root area. In sandy land, it will be like at the left side, and the Kelly land will be like the right. But more or less, that's what we call the onion of irrigation salinity. Can you go to the next picture, please? Here you can see the difference between capillarity movement and gravity. On the right side, which is normal irrigation, we have a dripper, I don't know, maybe 2 liter per hour, 1 liter per hour, but working for a long term, more than 5 minutes. And then you see that the water coming down mostly by gravity, and after that go up by capillarity and make salinity in the higher surface of the ground, of the soil, which is the most important places, because in these places there is a lot of oxygen coming directly from the air. On the left side, you can see our system, which is low flow for a very short time, maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, no more. In this case, the movement of the water completely different. Most of the movement is by capillarity, and only 10% or 5% is by gravity. Between them, in this case, there is no salinity all around the pot or the area. Next slide, please. And that's the difference that we'll get in the plants. In the left plants, we see the traditional area of the roots of normal irrigation using dripper or whatever, sprinkler. You can see that there is white tips of roots in this area, which in area number A, if you remember from the last picture, number A, there is a lot of water, no oxygen, because too much water. And zone B is more, there is a lot of roots, because zone B, there is oxygen and no salinity. Zone C, out roots completely, because the roots cannot survive in an area of salinity. In the right side, you can see a plant, typical plants of our system, Autoagronom. You can see a massive roots, white roots, massive on the high level, and it's not coming on account of the deeper roots. There is, in the deep side, also there is roots, but many, many roots, 10 times more, 8 times more than the other one in the high surface. These roots get perfect conditional during the day, and they can supply oxygen, water, and fertilize very, very easily and efficiently to the green leaves, which they need the oxygen, the fertilizer, and the water. Next picture, please. Here you see a wonderful example what's happened in normal irrigation, gravity irrigation. You can see in the middle, zone A with too much water under the dripper, with this dripper in Gerbera. And you see the black things is roots that die because lack of oxygen. In zone B, you see a lot of roots, white roots, and zone C is limited of roots, completely no roots, because of the border of the salinity. The anion of the salinity is stopping. Next picture, please. Contrary to this, you can see the other side of the examination, but our area, the same plants, the same place, the same grower, no salinity at all. And you can see in zone A a lot of roots, white roots that supply oxygen and water and fertilizer to the plants. And see that it's not coming on the behalf of the, on the account of the deep roots. Still, we have deep roots in the deep area, but most of the root, 80% of them are consecrated on the high level of the plants where there is a lot of oxygen, no salinity at all. That's very important picture. Go to the next picture, please. You see also example of salinity in normal with the bell. Try to imagine the anion, the bell anion with the upside, which zone C. You can see that horrible problem, limitation of the growing and lack of yield, take more time to the yield to that we can harvest it, and etc. etc. Next picture. Can you go please to the next picture? Hello? Oh, we did another example of salinity by working in drip with dripper in olive trees in the south of Israel. Next picture, please. Okay, now we see how autoagronome. Now you can see how autoagronome working by the tensiometer, a very accurate tensiometer and sensitive. Our tensiometer can read 0.1 milli bar, and if you can see that during the ring number left is from 12 o'clock in the night. You see that there is irrigation in the night. It's very important. By the way, it's the graph is from irrigation greenhouse in Israel for Gerberam. And you see during the day, when it's become hot, the frequency of irrigation come more and more faster. We have more irrigation during the day, and after that, less irrigation during the night, since evening come from 7 o'clock p.m. And it's important that many irrigation we're making in the night, which is something unusual, because till now we were thinking that plants don't need water in the night. It's a big mistake. Plants need water in the night because they need oxygen. And the only way we say they can get oxygen is by the water we are irrigate for them. Okay, next picture. See here example of bananas in Israel. You see two lines. One tensiometer is a bigger group of bananas, older bananas, which is few years, and they upside on them you can see the graph of the tensiometer of small bananas, young one, which about half meter, and you see the difference between the way it works. They old bananas, the mature bananas, they black, the blue line, they get the irrigation because they don't lose water. There is high humidity there, and really the way the open one, the younger one, that the humidity there is very low because they don't have enough leaves to keep the humidity and the shade. And then you see in the about 2 o'clock in the day, started a very strong wind, east wind, dry wind, and you see how the computer automatically fixed that and change his regulation and change the regulation to reduce the level of tensiometer again and to make it the optimal one all around the day. Human being cannot do such a thing unless he was sitting and make play and fix himself every few minutes. And that's why the grower was amazed from the behavior of the controller, and he sent me, the grower of the banana, he sent me this picture. Next one, please. Next picture, please. Here you see example how we see a roots of a grower of gerbera in Israel. On the left side, this is a system without auto-agronome. The right side with the system with auto-agronome. And you can see the difference between the capacity and a huge amount of white roots, which make the grower there faster, at least twice faster than the left one. He finished the cycle in 100 days instead of 208 days. We saved 70% of the fertilizer, 40% of water, and we got more than 8 times yield more. Next picture, please. Can you go please to the next picture? Yeah, really the example of roots on the surface of the ground on pepper bell in Israel. With this example of lemon, next picture, you can see a lot of roots on the upper side. You can grab them by hand. Next picture, you can see here tomato with wonderful white roots up to the top of the land. With this geranium, the same with auto-agronome. Next picture. Okay, this again, geranium with wonderful roots, healthy one, white one. Again, it's for orchards of orange. Go to next one, please. With this comparison between roots, banana roots with auto-agronome, the first one, and banana roots without auto-agronome, you see the white small roots. They have the feeders of the roots, and they are most important. You can see how the different it's in the banana. Next picture, please. Okay, again, you can see in Australia orchards of orange. In the left side is the roots with auto-agronome. Right side, normal roots, normal with normal irrigation dripper and with another controller. Next picture, please. Okay, again, this is another thing for Solidago. Next one. Yeah, we did the Solidago. And next one, please. I just want to show you how amazing the auto-agronome make effects in the roots. And the roots are the more important organ in the plants. If we have good roots like that, we will have better yield. We have quicker, the yield will come in a short time. We save water and we save fertilizer. Next one. Next picture, please. Oh, we did example of here was a crack of the pipe of water in olive orchards in Peru, and the farmer sent me picture of the roots. You can see the next one, please. Please show the next one. This is amazing roots of the place of the previous picture, you can see a massive roots on the surface of the ground, which make the yield in the fish farm. He gets the yield in after 14 months, usually take more than 2 years, 22 months before you got commercial yield in olive trees. Next one. Here you can see the grower wrote Gerbera instead of one pot in the one plant in pot. He put free one. Today we even put four ones. That's mean 4 times more yield. Okay, next one. You see the plantation of olive trees in day one. We have only one line of tripper, usually in villages in Peru, in the desert. You can see we are using only one line of tripper instead of three. Next one. Even that next picture, please. Okay, here you can see the difference between in avocado with or without agronom. Let's move to the other picture, please. Okay, you see in the right side, the conventional, you see that there is too much, yes, somebody asked if we can try it in his farm. Yes, we can try it in anybody with one farm. You can see pepper bell, cucumber, sorry, in Israel. This is one of the best grower in Israel. And we make here a test with the government of the Minister of Agriculture in Israel. They choose him because he is the best grower of cucumber, and they want to see if Otto Agronom can improve him. And we improve him by 17% more yield. We save there 40% of water, 70% of irrigation, fertigation. Next picture. Okay, you see the cucumber here in the same farm, but we make the test with amazing results. And like I told, I say, we increase the yield in 70%. Next picture. Okay, here, this is amazing tomato greenhouse in Malaysia. And, you know, we cannot visit in Malaysia. They don't like us, Israel, and so all the installation made by our Australian people. We did a farm of the government, and they show their showroom to present the best agriculture, modern agriculture, and they choose our system. And we're very proud of that. The result was very, very good. In Malaysia, it's very difficult to make a good production of tomato because the humidity and raining most of the time. And we got a wonderful fruit there. And they also deliver it to Qatar and Abu Dhabi as a perfect and high level quality of production. Next picture, please. Next picture, please. Hello? Okay. This is in area, we make a test here in eggplants. Next picture. eggplants in open field. Next picture, also very good result. Please go to the next picture.
This is the end of the slide.
Sorry, can you repeat or can you write?
Okay, this is the end of the slide. The slide number 41 is the end.
Wow, I don't understand you, sorry. David, can you understand it?
Nisim, this is the last slide.
Okay, thank you. In all conclusion, thank you, of what I tried to say, autoagronom is a revolutionary way to treat the roots instead of coming to the plants and say to him, hey, we know exactly what we need, what you need. And we as a human being, we are clever, we smart, we finish university, we have 3,000 of experience here in agriculture. Our approach is that we don't know what the plant needs. The plants know exactly what he needs, and we can take the information from the roots by talking to the roots, listening to them, following up physical and chemical changing in the area in the roots. We come to a wonderful result, saving water and fertilizer, but more important, increasing the yield dramatically. So if there is any question, I will be glad to answer.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions. First of all, thank you very much for your excellent presentation. Ramesh, would you like to take the questions? So some of the questions here are, one from Shivram, what is the investment like? What kind of investment is required?
Oh, it's depend what you are growing, how many. We are usually calculated that the improvement that you will get from the system will be less than 1 year if you compare it to other systems. If you have 20 or 2 hectare of greenhouse, or about 50 hectare of open field, it depends on the growth, of course. If you're growing cannabis, for example, or dump, you can return the investment in more than 1 year. So for question that we need the area, we need detailed area, but
Right.
I can promise you one thing. In any case, it will return, the profit will be returned by the system in 1 year.
Okay.
Otherwise, we are going to install it.
Yeah, so the return on investment, Mr. Shivram from Mysore, is within 1 year, right? And is there any study done for coffee? Have you utilized this system for coffee plantation?
Coffee, we didn't make it yet for coffee, but we don't think there is any change. We make it in 80 different yields, you know, and varieties, and I'm sure coffee will be as good as other ones.
Okay. One more question is from Mr. Mohan Pujar. He says that whatever you are explaining with slides is related to saline land at Israel. Is it applicable to a soil anywhere?
No, it's not all the picture for saline from Israel. Some of them come from Australia, some of them come from Peru, and we have a lot of experience in salty land, like the picture we saw from Peru, the olive trees. A lot. In China, we have a huge area in open field and different kind all around China, in the north, west, east, and south. Also in soilless when usually we are thinking that there is no problem of salinity, but there is a big problem in salinity also in soils. And of course, in also sandy land, we got a good result, and we have a lot of experience in sandy land.
Also in India, do you have some good experience in India?
Yeah, we have good experience. We have some demonstration that Mr. David make, and we have in Rajasthan an area for olive. Unfortunately, we stopped because people changing that. But in the first 4 years, when our people were there, they were the manager of the farm. The result in Rajasthan of the olive was very, very good. But
Okay.
till now, they're using the system, by the way.
Okay. Another question is, what all crops and vegetables can be cultivated in greenhouse in vertical cultivation? In India, we are cultivating European cucumbers, bell brinjals, tomato, capsicum, drumsticks. Can we do it for all these things?
Yes, of course. And we have experience with all these lists.
Okay, great. And there is one more question around the land size. Mr. Shankara Rao, he's asking a question as to how this system could be deployed for a large area of land.
Yeah, wonderful. You see there the open field that you saw from Australia and from Peru is 700 hectares, the area. It's a huge area. And mostly all our installation in China also, they are in big area, minimum 100 hectares. We have no problem from big areas.
Okay. Mr. Jagan Mohan Bhalaki, he is asking, what is the life of the equipment?
We have a farmer that using the system more than 15 years, and they're using still now. So the life is at least 15 years.
15 years. Wow, that's great. And is there a investment per acre that you can give some guidelines? How many US dollar per acre, or for every 1,000 square feet or something like that?
Yeah, it's actually, I told you, it's very difficult because it's depending the growth. You depend if you have, for example, 1 hectare and you grow there 50 different kind of roses, plants, other plants, and gerbera and things like that. Then you need more sensor. But the prices are reasonable. They are not on the sky. And try to remember the formula that we promise that the return of the investment will be in 1 year if we compare our system to other systems. So the difference, it's not so good, so much than you compare it for other systems.
Okay. So do you have any arrangement where we give you, say, 100 to 500 acres of land along with manpower? Would you be willing to invest and go for joint collaboration?
No, thank you. We don't do that. I was farmer for many, many years of my life. And I decided not to be farmer anymore. I think being farmer is gambling. And if I want to gamble, normally I'm going to Las Vegas. But thank you very much for the suggestion. I don't want to be again farmer.
Okay. And there is one more question about mango. Can it be done for mango plantation as well? Since the root goes deep into the soil, how do you supply the oxygen to the root? This is a brilliant idea of supplying oxygen to the soil. But when when the roots are going deep, how do you supply?
Okay. First of all, in every plant, we done it in mango and we got very good result in Chile. But for the question, when you have a tree, you have 2 kinds of roots. There is roots that go down deep and deep. And actually, this is construction roots. These roots don't have so much feeders. And in the roots, what supplies the oxygen, the water, and the fertilizer, only dripper. And the dripper is very, very small. Actually, you can take a mango trees, if you hold it, and by something, by any construction, you can feed all this mango tree by a basket of water with 10 liters. Because if you calculate, if you collect all the tips of the dripper, of the feeders, of the roots in a big tree, you will not come more than 10 liters of basket. So what we are doing, the other one is we giving the roots condition in upper side that make a massive of roots like you see in the olive and you see in orange, and the massive roots will be upside of the white and small in the feeders, but this one will support also oxygen and sugar and fertilize to the deeper one. So the additional roots will be additional. It will not be instead of. So, and we have that in even in debt, you know, the debt really have a very, very deep root. Sometimes debt have roots that come for 2,000 far away from the plants. And we done it with that also, and the results are very good. But we have limitation. We cannot put it in already existent trees. We should start from the beginning, from day one of plantation. We cannot come to mature trees and put our system, because the changing is so dramatic, we make a little bit shock to the trees at the beginning.
Okay. One more interesting question from Mr. Frank Coelho is, how do you rate this system against a hydroponic method of growing?
Actually, hydroponic, we say if you use auto-agronome, you don't need hydroponic. The hydroponic is a very good system, but it's very expensive. And auto-agronome in much, much less investment will give you the same result as hydroponic without the headache of hydroponic, without the construction, without the complementation of the hydroponic.
Okay, our district governor, Rotarian Nagendra Prasad, is asking, is it applicable for golf course?
Yeah, of course. Golf course, we put the dripper under the ground, something like 5 centimeter in the ground, because they cut it all the time, you know, and they don't have, and it's a wonderful result. The problem is with golf, it's very difficult for us to send, because they have to stop using the land for period of few months, 2 months, 3 months. You know, when we install the dripper, we have to make line and install the dripper. But if it's a new golf and it's just beginning on new area, it's wonderful, no problem at all.
He is himself starting a 18-hole golf course, Mr. Nagendra Prasad. So that is the reason he's asking you, when he is starting the construction of this, could it be a good idea to install this kind of system?
Yeah, for sure. If he's studying, it's the right time to do that.
Wonderful. So there you have your first customer. Any comments on the Indian way of conventional agriculture system?
We have a lot of experience. We are many years dealing in India. We know I cannot say we are expert in India agriculture, but we have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. We know the people, we know the method, and like everywhere, it's difficult to implementation of the technology. It's a big problem because of most of the market as for small farmers of 1 hectare or even less, which is because of the small size of the area, you cannot put technology. It's not worth financially. But still, there is big groups and there is big area. Not even it's 5% of the market, but it's 1 million times more than Israel, when all the area in Israel. So it's a huge market for system like us. Even 5 or 10% of the market is suitable for technology.
Okay, I have given David's contact details as well as your website in the chat box for everyone. So people can contact Mr. David, who is the India director. I think we have already had a lot of questions. I will just give a comment. I don't think it's a question, but it's a wonderful comment by Mr. Mohan Pujar for you, Mr. Nasim. He says, you don't have to be a farmer again. We are exploring business potential and opportunity in India by employing your technology. Our investment is about 500 acres of land and dedicated manpower. In order to develop the land for cultivation for different crops, with your part investment, let me emphasize, you don't have to go back to become a farmer, but you can just do a part investment and you can be popular in India overnight. So
Yeah,
that's
thank
just a
you.
comment for you.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's an honor. I love, by the way, I love agriculture, even though I don't want to be a farmer, but I love agriculture, and it's my life, my love of my life. Always I will be in my soil agriculture, but maybe I will find another investor. I tell you, if it was, I think it was cannabis or hemp, it will be interesting. It will be easy to find investor. But as much as I know, cannabis, medicine cannabis is not allowed in India, right? Not yet.
I have to check. Sorry, I am not aware of this. I will check that. But we can keep in touch. I think you have my contact details. We can keep in touch. I will connect with the other people who have been very vocal here, and we will find a way how to cooperate as we go along.
Hello, this is Ralphie Girard, and I am very happy to hear this conversation. So cannabis are not permitted to grow in India. Nasim. Low Baya.
Yeah, of course. If I understand you, I will be happy to meet you and happy to. Okay, cannabis is not allowed. I see the message.
Yes.
But we can grow hemp. Hemp is allowed, but with license. Hemp is allowed. HEMP.
Okay, hemp is very good. Yeah, hemp is very good with auto agronome. It's amazing result, and we can make a hemp. We are going to make a huge area in Azerbaijan of hemp, and also in California. And I like hemp very much. It's a good product, and almost unlimited needs for huge market who need the hemp.
Yeah. One more question which Ramesh Venkatesan is asking, who introduced you, is would this help in increasing the yield of paddy, or is it only for long duration crops?
No, it's for all kind of crops, even for short one. We're doing it in herbs, we're doing it in lettuce, we're doing it in very short, and also long term for like trees and orchard and dates and fig.
Great. So I think we have had wonderful questions, and I'm sure there are a lot of more questions that people have. So we will keep in touch with you. My request to all the attendees is, I have already given some contact details of Mr. David, who's the country director, here in the chat box, or else you can write to me and I can facilitate any further questions with Mr. Nasim. I am connected to him. So thank you once again, and I will hand it over back to Rajaram.
Sorry for the technical problem in the beginning, but we overcome them. Okay.
Yes, yes. We have our DG, our district governor, Mr. Nagendra Prasad, to tell you something. So please hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Manoj. I think this Gnana Vavidya, I have a continuous series, I think under the guidance of our vocational service, is an excellent program. And especially today, bringing a great speaker, I would say, Mr. Nasim Danieli, I think well-versed in agriculture products, especially the technology of Israel is always well known. It is the defense, it's the agriculture, even though it's such a small country, they are very good in the technology. And I would like to tell you, in the year 1981, I had an opportunity to come to Jerusalem, and I was there for almost a week. That was on a holiday, and a very small country, but beautiful country. And really, we welcome you here today. And I think I went through all your, I was the one who asked you about the golf course. I'm building up a golf course, so I thought, this would be an excellent thing. And as we are talking about the agriculture. This year in Rotary, we have given a lot of importance to agriculture and agriculture projects, and especially we want to develop in the rural sector, and so that our people make use of the technology. Not only this year, it's an ongoing project, and I think Manoj has been is an excellent. He has got a good connect, and he has connected me to a couple of people there. And today coming again on this webinar, it was really nice. And I'm sure all of our 10 to 15 clubs, I think 10 clubs have joined together. And I see some of the clubs are outside our district too. I think I welcome each one of them, and it's a nice idea of connecting and knowing more technology. And as we go through this a pandemic, I'm sure in a couple of months, once the pandemic comes down, I think we will have more interactions with you and see how technology can be brought to our country, and first to the district and to the country later, so that it benefits the larger our social. It's like a social economic system. It should help the poor farmers or the rich farmers and more agriculture, because our country being an agriculture country, we need to give more emphasis on that, which may not be happening to that level of what it should happen. And I think Rotary can be an instrumental and a nodal agency. And I'm sure with your modern agriculture technology, that the topic for today, more crop, more per drop, I think it's an excellent topic, and I think everybody has understood, and you explained very simple, and it was excellent. And I thank once again all the clubs for joining today, Rotary clubs, and also some of the clubs from Israel too, some Rotarians were there. And I think I thank each one of them. And I'm sure Manoj, I think in the future days, I think you can connect them even on the business point of view. If anybody is interested, they could connect to this company and see that how technology can be brought to the country at the end, help the larger, I would say the sector of our agriculture sector, and help each other. Thank you for this great opportunity. And I see that a lot of my presidents are there. Our Lieutenant Governor Frank is there, and our directors for this year, they're all there. I think each one of them were so interested, and I could see that they were asking so many questions. That shows the interest towards agriculture, and that is the most important thing. And your experience, sir, as a CEO, and I could see your experience, the way you were explaining. I think we should really thank you for your time and the opportunity for this.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You can also read out the vocational.
It sounds fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. DS, read out the Vocational Excellence Award also for him.
Yes. It's my pleasure here to read out the Vocational Excellence Award for Nizim Danieli, founder and CEO of Rotterdam 88 Limited, Otto Agroman Israel Limited, and Rootstock LCCI. Nizam is the founder and the CEO of Rotterdam 88 Limited, Otto Agroman Israel Limited, and Rootstock LCC. The company expertise include climate control, computerized irrigation and fertilization controls, and computerized control and management of agriculture facilities such as greenhouses, fisheries, coops of poultry, and more. Developing the Otto Agroman method and technology with the agronomist Ethan Israel, a revolutionary method and system that controls the irrigation and fertilization in real time based on data from the root solution. Based on this development, Otto Agroman Israel Limited was established in 2008. It's almost 12 years now, managing dozens of projects for the control of greenhouses, poultry farms, hatcheries, and packing houses. From the point of sale, setting up a team of programmers, managing teams of electricians, construction workers, running the system, and training the customers and local personnel. Excellent. I think everything is there. Hitting the R&D of computerized teaching greenhouse project in collaboration with the Xiaomi Teachers Training Institute, a pedagogic center of special education in the first youth village at Akfar, across the Green Village, and the University of Bar Irfan, Dr. Sarah Klacho, implementing the project in over 20 schools, volcanic center, and additional institutes teaching and writing the teaching programs and adjusting them to the school's curriculum. I think this is signed by the Rotary District 3190. I think an excellent, I think we are all so happy to give this award to this excellent gentleman, Nissim Daniel from the agriculture sector. And I'm sure this award not only gives prestige to you, sir, it's a prestige honor to Rotary District 3190, and we will all cherish this program today. Thank you. Thank you. Back to you.
Raja, can you show
Thank
the
you
award?
very much. Really, thank you.
Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a small announcement to be made by Rotarian Raghu Alam.
Thank you very much for your word and warm thanks. Really appreciate that. And I'm sure that we can cooperate and make good things for the environment and for the wealth and for the future of our the next generations. And together we can stop avoid the terminate of the aquifer and make it more clean and make more food and less fertilize, less water for all the world. We are already in 13 countries, and we will be very happy that India will be our next big target.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we have a small announcement to be made by Rotarian Raghu Alam, Chairman of Rotary Action Groups.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm traveling. I am in my car and I just parked my car on the side. Yeah, that was an excellent presentation by Mr. Nissim on agriculture. I also thank the President Manoj for giving me this opportunity. Under Rotary Action Group, Environmental and Sustainability Rotary Action Group, and the Fellowship group of photographers, we have come out with a project of bringing awareness to the environment and also to do meaningful projects. So under the Envision Photography Contest, we are requesting all the Rotarians, Rotaractors, Interactors and the public to participate in this competition. The proceeds from this competition would go into 3 projects. One is on rainwater harvesting, which we would like to do for about 100 government schools in and around the city of Bangalore. And also to regenerate a lake called Koira Lake, which is in north of Bangalore. This would really bring in the ecosystems around that place and help the farmers to go back to the irrigation. And the third project will be menstrual hygienic management program, where we are going to tell the rural women in again North Bangalore, about 2,500 women, to use reusable sanitary pads. So these are the 3 projects connected to the environment. The whole competition and the proceeds will go to these 3 projects. What we request is all the Rotarians and the non-Rotarians to participate in the photography competition, and the clubs, especially from Rotary District 3190, to partner with us and contribute 25,000 rupees per club for all the 3 projects. And you would do a great favor in our 7th focus area of Rotary International, that is sustaining the environment. I want you all to participate in that. The clubs will also get the citation points, special citation points from the district governor, and also win exciting prizes. So thanks for everyone. There is a link on the contest on the for the website. And any further information, please contact me. I will give more information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Drive safely home.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Manoj. Thank you. Thank you, Manoj.
Yeah, no problem. Rajaram? Yes, go ahead.
First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Nizam Denli, founder and CEO of Tata Ugranam, Israel, for delivering a very informative and wonderful talk. There is a lot of discussion happened about the modern agriculture technologies. In India, we always have water scarcity. This technology will definitely help us to produce more crop by drought. Thank you for giving us a lot of insight about how to grow the crop with less water. Your technology is very useful, and also your presentation is also very, very informative. Thank you very much. And my special thanks to our district governor, Rotarian Nagendra Prasad, for presenting the Vocational Service Award, and district vocational director, Rotarian Dr. Radhakrishna, and district IT team, and RBWC president, Rotarian Manoj Kabde, for the guidance and support. My sincere thanks to all the Rotary Bangalore IP Center, all the Rotarians and the entire team for their excellent support. I would also like to thank Rotarian Ramesh for introducing the speaker today. I would also like to thank all the staffs, Rotary Bangalore Pinya, Rotary Bangalore Basavangudi, Rotary Bangalore Northwest, Rotary Hyderabad Pales, Rotary Pondicherry, Aero City, Rotary Bangalore Center, Rotary Bangalore Central, Rotary Bangalore Vidyaranapura, Rotary Bangalore Sentinel, and Rotary Bangalore, Rotary Baroda, and Rotak Bangalore West for joining today's event. I would also like to thank all Rotarians, ANDs, ANEDs, non-Rotarians for joining this webinar today and make this event very valuable. At this moment, this is the time we are doing a membership drive. So if you are a non-Rotarian attending this today's session, definitely you will find it very useful. I invite all of you to join Rotary, and we can together make the better world. Rotary is a people of action. Rotary open opportunities to serve the community and unite people. Before we close the session, to announce the next session, it's out of the 12th session we are planning.
You can show the screen.
Oh, it's not shared. Sorry. The next session is very interesting. Once again from the Israel, a team of agriculture experts visited India, and then they have trained a lot of farmers, and then they would like to share their experience with us on September 7th. It's shared by Mr. He is the co-founder of Kiryat Gat Rotary Club, and he would be sharing all his experience when he visited India and how he trained the farmers here. So it will be very informative as like today. So I would like to invite everybody to join next week the same time. With this, I am closing the session. Thank you. Thank you all for joining today, and you made this event very wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Shalom, Mr. Nisim, Mr. David.
Shalom.
Thank you.